Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam amma ba'd. Continuing on with the speech of Shaikh Al-Albani, rahimahullah ta'ala, regarding the issue of when an individual is determined to be from Ahl Sunnah or not. قال رحمه الله تعالى: لكن نحن يهمنا القاعدة هل هو مؤمن بها هل هو داعى لها. قال رحمه الله تعالى, so he said, however, what's important for us is the principle of whether an individual believes in the innovation and the mistake that they have made, they believe it to be true, and or also are they an individual who calls to their innovation or to their mistake or mistakes. قال رحمه الله تعالى: نحن نعرف كما قلنا أكثر من مرة لا يوجد اليوم على وجه الأرض جماعات على أقل ممن يطلقون على أنفسهم من أهل السنة والجماعة لا يوجد فيهم أبدا من يقول بأن المنهج السلف الصالح هو خطأ ولو كان لا يتبعناه فعلا. The Shaykh went on to say, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, but we know, as we've said more than on more than one occasion, that you won't find anyone anywhere or a group that considers themselves that you won't find anyone who considers themselves from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah who will say that they do not follow the methodology of the Salaf as-Salih, or that they do not that they believe. You won't find anyone who claims to be from Ahl Sunnah who says that the methodology of the Salaf as-Salih is a mistaken minhaj, is a mistaken methodology. No one will say that and claim to be from Ahl Sunnah. Even if you find, this is my ta'liq, we find the people of Sufiya or the people of the many different groups and sects that unfortunately the people have broken into, you won't find amongst them who will say, even the extreme Sufis, and some of them who worship graves and do all kind of shirkiyat, all kind of practices which entail some polytheism, that you'll find that even individuals like this claim to be from Ahl Sunnah, and in addition to that will not declare the methodology of the Salaf to be a mistaken methodology. They will all refer to the Sahaba generally and refer to some early classical scholars. And this is what the Shaykh was getting at, rahimahullah ta'ala. قال رحمه الله تعالى: وهذا الذي يدعو إلى اتباع السلف الصالح فعلا ودعوة قد يخالف في بعض فروع ما نستطيع أن نخرجه من انتسابه الذي أعلنه بسبب بعض مخالفات. So he says, in the person who calls to following the Salaf as-Salih in their propagation, in their da'wah, and in their actions, they may at times make a mistake in some issues of furu', meaning issues that have to do with mu'amalat, have to do with how we relate to one another, issues in fiqh, issues in jurisprudence, and so forth. But we're not talking about issues of creed. So from this, they're falling into these mistakes, but you say in general, you see that they're calling to the dawah to Ahl Sunnah. They're propagating the religion in accordance with the methodology of the Salaf Salih, and they are trying to follow in their actions the Salaf Salih, the pious predecessors. And even though they're making some mistakes, and especially in some of these issues that are not related to the foundation of the religion, they were not able, then it's not possible for us to take them out or away from the Sunnah, because they are associating themselves with the Sunnah. We cannot disassociate themselves with the Sunnah or the minhaj of the Salaf Salih, which is the methodology that they are openly declaring. And we cannot do this in accordance with them making some minor mistakes or making some things in which they differed with the Salaf. And this, again, the Shaykh was referring to the furu', as he mentioned, those issues, issues in jurisprudence and so forth, not issues that relate to the main creed of Ahl Sunnah. However, those mistakes or those differences, they may have an impact on an individual, or that individual himself, his or herself, or they may have an effect on those people who are around them. And that individual could even have a great impact on a lot of people. So this is very important to be aware of this, and the Sheikh's about to continue on. We'll continue in our reading of why the Sheikh is saying this. He's saying that individuals who may make a mistake from Ahl Sunnah, or even those people who are not from Ahl Sunnah, they have different ways of impacting individuals. Some, they in fact only themselves. Maybe they have a bid'ah, they have a mistake, and they're themselves, they feel the effects of their mistake. And some individuals, that they have an effect on a whole community or a whole group of people. So the people are different. As our Shaykh Ibrahim Rahili, which is in accordance with the Nusus, has mentioned on many occasions, Ahl Sunnah mutafawateen wa Ahl Bid'ah mutafawateen. That the people of the Sunnah, that they have different levels. And the people of innovation, they have different levels. قال الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله تعالى. So the Shaykh went on to say, فبنسبة هذا التأثير يكون ابتعاد عن منهج السلف الصالح أو اقترابه. أما أن نطلق على إفراد يدعون إلى كتاب والسنة وليس هذا فقط، بل وعلى منهج السلف الصالح، لكن مخالفون في بعض قضايا ما ينبغي أن نتهمه بالمخالفة إلا إذا أعلنوها صراحة. So the Shaykh said, and related to the one who, in accordance with a person's effect on others, this, that their effects could make them far from the methodology of the Salaf Salih, or they could be closer to them, meaning that they have some mistakes, and it just depends on the issues that the person is mistaken in, their mistakes, their innovation that they've fallen into. Is it something big, and are they affecting a lot of people, or is it something minor, but still it is an innovation or a mistake? And the Shaykh went on to say, rahimahullah ta'ala, that a person could, be calling as an individual to the Quran and the Sunnah, or even the minhaj of Salaf Salih, the minhaj of the methodology of the Salaf Salih, but however have mistakes in some issues, in some qadaya, as the Shaykh said, then it is not permissible for us to accuse this individual who has these mistakes unless they are openly calling or inviting or making these mistakes out in the open, where they can affect many people. As the Shaykh said, بل وعلى منهج السلف الصالح لكن يخالفون في بعض قضايا ما ينبغي أن نتهمهم بالمخالفة إلا إذا أعلنوها صراحة. So basically, if they have mistakes in some issues, then we shouldn't accuse them of being a person who is deviant or who has these, who's deviant or a mistaken individual, unless this person is outwardly calling to these mistakes and outwardly showing these mistakes where they can affect the community. And the Shaykh went on to say, rahimahullah ta'ala, he gave some examples. He said, كما بلغنا عن بعضهم أنهم يقولون نحن نعتبر سلف في عقيدتهم في علمهم أما في وسائلهم فلا. هذا مخالف جذريا لمنهج السلف، بل مخالف لدعوة رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم الذي اهتموا بتوحيد في عهد al-Makki. So the Shaykh went on to say, he gave an example. He said, and like what has reached us from some of them, or in relation to some of those groups and some of those individuals who say that we follow the Salaf, we follow the methodology of the pious predecessors in their aqidah, in their belief, and in their knowledge. But as for their methodology of doing da'wah, then no. So the Shaykh went on to say, then this is a very big mistake and indifference to the minhaj of the Salaf, to the methodology of the Salaf. And in fact, it is actually differing with the methodology of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had called the people to Tawheed, called the people to Islamic monotheism. So again, this is going against the usul, and the usul in the minhaj, the usul in the methodology of the Salaf as-Salih, for a person to say, yeah, I believe in the aqidah or the belief in the Salaf, but yet I don't want to follow, but I differ with them in their means to achieving that. I believe in compromising or finding other ways to call people. And this is where you find the differences with the people's da'wah. This is what the Shaykh is referring to. And in fact, this whole book is in reference to this. And I will stop there and we'll pick up in another sitting. And I ask Allah the Almighty to accept the good from us and forgive us of our evil. And anything I said that was correct was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything I said that was incorrect was from myself and the shaitan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.